While the stock market's roaring here now, I'm still concerned about the kind of small and medium-sized businesses that don't have publicly traded stocks. That's why tonight I am so glad to take the pulse of these businesses with a fantastic company, Intuit, the financial technology company you know as QuickBooks. We're customers at our restaurants, Mint and TurboTax. Last Thursday, Intuit reported an understandably not so hot quarter, mostly because the IRS delayed the deadline for filing taxes this year. Yet, despite the disappointment, the stock barely got dinged. In fact, most analysts raised their estimates. At this point, Intuit's now made up of most of the ground at loss when the market crashed in February and March. Its stock is painting a pretty bullish picture, even as the landscape for small, medium-sized businesses customers seems pretty rough. Let's find out. So let's take a closer look with Sasan Goodarzi. He is the president and CEO of Intuit. Get a better sense of where his company's headed. Mr. Goodarzi, welcome to Mad Money.
Jim, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so you have an extraordinary thing. We have been working about how Zoom has changed things, about Teladoc has changed things. Intuit was ready for the virtual shift in this country, wasn't it?
You know, we are so delighted to have the opportunity to build on the foundation of being ready for this virtual world. As you know, because I hear you talk about it on your show, there's just a massive shift to a virtual world, whether it's education, whether it's medical, whether it's home fitness, and even when it comes to taxes and bookkeeping and handling your small business, folks are moving to a virtual world. So we're very fortunate to be ready for that with our TurboTax and QuickBooks Live platform.
Now, can you tell us, we are concerned because we talked to the Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, and we know from a lot of companies that smaller business does not have the ability to get as much capital as larger. How do you feel about the state of small, medium-sized business if we do reopen the country right now?
You know, well, first of all, we feel for small businesses, just to set context, you know, we primarily serve small businesses between 1 to 10 employees. And we've just made an entry into small businesses that are between 10 to 100 employees. And, you know, these are small businesses that are really the heartbeat of America. They normally have up to about 8 weeks of cash. They're fighters, they're dreamers. And this environment has dramatically impacted them. And of course, what matters most is health and safety. But as long as we open up the country in a very safe way, I think they are ready to deliver for their customers. And many of them have actually changed their business models to be able to work in this virtual world. And we are just very much inspired by their passion and their compassion.
I know you have a similar program to Square where you basically can give advances to companies, but with the economy so bad, I imagine you had to pull some of these lines, that it's not a great time for some industries because of the health and safety rules or because the boutique nature.
You know, we've had to be, of course, much more thoughtful because we don't want the small businesses to get in trouble not being able to pay their loans back. Now, we've invested in this machine learning platform for about 4 to 5 years, and we leverage about 26 billion data sources that's always crunching numbers. And so we know very well, based on all your money coming in and money going out, what your capacity is, what you can afford, the creditworthiness of your customers. And so we have had to tighten up a little bit, but we've also been really leveraging our machine learning capabilities to still do good by our customers.
Okay, so one of our producers says, oh, we've got Intuit on. You've got to tell him how someone hacked my account, my checking account, my PayPal account, and that you, with Credit Karma, it's not you yet, flagged it and got it stopped, and he just could not say enough good things about Credit Karma. Now, I am not as familiar with it other than the fact because I know the deal hasn't closed, but it does sound like it's a much larger total addressable market than what you currently have.
It is, Jim. I'll tell you, first of all, I'll start with why we were so interested in Credit Karma. We set a goal about 1.5 years ago to double household savings rate for anybody that's on our platform. And we wanted to really play a role that goes far beyond taxes. We wanted to really be the financial assistant in your pocket. And with Credit Karma, we're not going to be able to connect customers to financial products that are right for them. We're an agnostic platform, help them save money, get out of debt. And they had 100 million plus customers, almost 40 million monthly active. And we're going to now be able to reach customers in ways that we couldn't before. And so I'm delighted your producer found it helpful, and we just could not be more excited to help customers save more money with Credit Karma.
Can you talk about how, I thought this was great, if you had, some people wanted to visit in the old days, let's say pre-pandemic actually, they like to go visit a person. In the new world, I don't want to go to that office. I want to do it virtual. Brick and mortar is very hard right now, isn't it, for your competitor?
You know, it is. I mean, if you think about two things that are converging, one, folks that were born after the smartphone, they want to do everything on their smartphone, and they're less privy to go to physical locations. And then when you look at this unfortunate pandemic, I think it's just sped up everything 5+ years, where folks want to be able to do things online. They want to be able to engage an expert online, both to get their taxes done, but also we're seeing the same thing with small businesses where they want to connect to a bookkeeper in a virtual world, exchange documents in a virtual world. So I think the whole world has sped up about 5 years to be able to do things online, engage online. And I think in the long term, it's going to be good for the globe. But of course, we need to get through the current environment in a very safe way.
Yeah, I totally agree with you that it's sped it up. Nadella said the same thing at Microsoft. He said, but he was saying a couple of years. I think you're absolutely right. It's really pulled forward. The last thing I find so troubling is the amount of credit card debt and the 50% of Americans that live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's incredible. It's one of the reasons why we were so excited to come together with Credit Karma, because now with 100 million plus customers that they serve, we can actually give you early access, to your paycheck. There's 23 million Americans that go to payday loans just to get access to their paycheck on a Wednesday, money that they're going to get Friday because they don't have the money. And we need to play a very important role to help educate folks on financial health and ensure that they make the right choices and the right decisions.
Wow. It's always, you count your lucky stars that we have good jobs.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's Sasan Goodarzi. And Mr. Goodarzi is CEO of Intuit, which is a company we've liked for several hundred points. And I think this company is the winner in his segment. And I just am very excited about Intuit. Always have been. Mad Money's back after the break.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.